Okay, this is the follow-up talk to my post or video um, on how um, perpetrators and gang stalkers, how they choose your partners for you. Now, in that video, there was a few comments which were really interesting to me. One person came and said that basically she understands what I'm saying and she can relate to it. And this her situation, uh, well, it kind of touched me a little bit because I could understand. Well, I can't understand how somebody can come to that realization. I can't empathize with that situation because I've never actually been um, in an advanced relationship with a perpetrator without knowing that they are. I've been in relationships with those people. I've been in relationships with women who are monitoring or are involved with people who are monitoring my neural system. And so it's never been a situation where I woke up one day and I realized that, hang on a minute, this woman is monitoring me in that way. I've always known, but I've chosen, like I advised that the person who was making that comment, that basically once you know that you are a victim of this, knowledge is power. Once you know that somebody is like this, then the next stage is for you to actually stop and assess your life and say to yourself, right, what's the best situation for me to be in? Um, I mean, the reason why these perpetrators end up convincing you to be with them, yeah, or the reason why they end up choosing your partners for you, yeah, is because basically it's a strategy that they have. It's a fallout of what we do. Um, what our moral framework forces us to do. When I say moral framework, most of us come from a Christian background. Most of the things that bring peace in this world were designed by predominantly Christian thinking minds or people from Christian backgrounds. The Human Rights Act, it's mostly Christian nations that came up with that. That came out of the World War II situation. So their morality, what they saw as right or wrong, was had a Christian basis. So what we normally see as right or wrong leads us to force women to view their sexual urges as sin, as sinful. But yet, it, Jesus himself never said that your sexual urges are sin. It's your sexual urges are not sin, because if sex is a sin, how do you expect to propagate for eternity? How do you expect us to live forever if we don't have sex? How could something that is pivotal and fundamental to us living forever be a sin? Yeah, then living forever is a sin. You can argue that, but then if you look at the retrocausality theory, then you can say that the life that exists at the end of time might be the life that necessitated the creation of the universe. So if we do heterosexuality until the end of time, we might be the ones that necessitated creation. We necessitated creation for it to create us. That's the retrocausality argument. Yeah, but back to the moral question of whether a woman should feel as if her sexual urges are sinful. Now, the difference between rape and a good time is consent. There's some acts of consented sex which are much more rougher and um, masochistic or sadistic than some rape cases. There's some rape cases where you touch someone on the erogenous zones, and they say that that's rape. But there's some sexual acts where you even involve um, inanimate objects, things like that, where it gets really, really fiery, where if there was no consent, that would be rape all the way through it. So it's a question of consent. So women are led to believe that whenever you feel aroused, you've sinned. Now, this is what caused demons and perpetrators to start when they saw an opportunity now. Yeah, now women who are afraid to have sex or afraid to consent because of peer pressure or social pressures or moral pressures, if you once you start being afraid to consent, yeah, then you're going. They have a niche there. It's logical to date a demon. You see, once you start saying to yourself or thinking that your urge, yeah, your urges towards the opposite sex, yeah, are sin, yeah, then you're gonna have to date a demon, yeah, because anytime somebody wants to have sex with you, it's gonna be rape because you see sex as something that's sinful, so you never give consent. Yeah, you're programmed never to give consent, and if you never give consent, yeah, anytime you have sex, it will be rape. Yeah, so you date a demon. Yeah, um, and the reason why you women choose to date demons is because you don't like having sex. When you get aroused, I've seen women who even report themselves. She will see you. Now, obviously, you see a man and you're like birds in the forest. Like one bird comes, a male bird comes, displays um, his repertoire, and females flying from miles away and they get attracted, and it's nature. So some female humans get attracted that way, and as soon as she becomes aroused, she reports herself to a demon. She says, "Oh, look, I'm horny for this person. Can you come and save you from pleasure?" Right? I don't understand. So you choose to date demons, yeah, to protect you from having sex. But if you choose to consent to having sex, you won't need to date these demons. They don't have anything on you, because the only time it feels like rape is when you feel like you don't like having sex. As soon as you start feeling like you want to have sex, you never have to fear rape. That's just sex. There's even sexual acts which are rougher than what you're gonna get. Yeah, so as the only women that get raped are those that never give that are programmed to never want to give consent, and the only women that date demons are the exact same ones. Those who don't like giving consent are the ones who need to date a demon. Yeah, because he's gonna protect you from sex. Yeah, he's the one who would agree to keep other men from you. Yeah, but eventually he does end up raping you, and they do rape them. But because they're demons, they'll make you feel like you can't get out of it. We're watching you wherever you go. They even traffic those women. Um, you're gonna get sexed in the end anyway. So why put yourself in a situation where you're forced into sex by a demon when you could just consent to it? So to that viewer that commented on my video, um, the one that's called "They Choose Your Partners for You," the only thing I can add to those comments is that basically you must allow yourself to consent. Yeah, if you have no intention of giving consent, then you stay with your demon. It's okay. It's not okay in the eyes of the Lord, but as long as you know it's a demon, at least you can see the righteous path. You're not on it, but at least you know that that's somebody who's unholy. Because remember, in the days of the Spanish Inquisition, if you hold your hand out there and you say, "Can you tell what's in my hand?" and somebody says, "Yeah," well, you're seeing where it's concealed. Your mind is in your skull. It's concealed within your skull. So if somebody can see the contents of your mind, that's a demon. So um, as long as you know you're dating one, you can see the righteous path. You really shouldn't be doing that, and try and stay afloat. Try and the moment you forget that he's a demon, that's the moment he would have taken your soul.